Matt Brown, you got a big fight coming up, man. UFC Fight Night, Korean Zombie versus Dan Ige, June 19th. How do you feel, brother?
Feeling great, man. Weight's good, cardio's good, skills are sharp. The axe has been sharpened as good as it can be. So let's go do this.
So it's been a little bit, right? Your last fight was in Abu Dhabi, January. Big difference, right? I mean, your mindset not having to go all the way to Abu Dhabi, man, just having to go to Vegas, it's a big deal for you.
Not a big deal, but I do like Vegas. I fought there so many times. I know how to get ready there. I know the layout. I've never been to the Apex actually, but I know Vegas. I know how it feels there. I know the time zone difference, how to get myself prepared. So it does work out better. Abu Dhabi was a completely new experience, which is cool too, though. I mean, there's something to be said about going somewhere completely new and not being, I don't know, too comfortable, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it's good to go new places and kind of feel a different type of stress, I guess.
Speaking of stress, man, how's the gym coming along? Immortal Martial Arts Center in Lewis Center, Ohio.
Yeah, stress is a good way to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a job, man, but it's going really good. I've actually been really surprised at how quickly and how well it's been. And we have a great community of people there, and we're just going to keep growing it and keep making it better. And fortunately, I have really good people around me that are able to take care of the day-to-day ins and outs and the financial, the boring stuff that I don't really want to deal with. And I'm able to focus on training.
Do you do most of your camp at your center, or do you kind of branch out when needed?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I go to other places here in Columbus, but yeah, I stay here.
Nice. That's super convenient, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have to. I have, my 3 kids, and I could leave for a little bit of time here and there, but I mean, like I said, we have a really good community of people and really supportive people, really good coaches, and really good people around me. So I'm really happy with it.
Does it surprise you when you look back that you've been fighting in the UFC since 2008 now? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I don't feel like it's that long, but then when I do the numbers and I see it. Yeah, it's been a while. I was 28 years old when I first got in the UFC, and I'm 40 now. So yeah, you don't see too many people that are able to stay in there that long and still compete. So I can take a little bit of pride in that, I guess. I just got to go in there and show that I can still compete at this age, and I feel good. My body feels good. I feel like I still can. It's just a matter of showing up and doing it.
Yeah, you've been doing it, like you said, man, for a long time. You've got victories over the who's who, right? I mean, Pete Sell, Stephen Thompson, Mike Zwick, Tim Means, Diego Sanchez. You've literally beat the who's who of the welterweight division the last 10 plus years. Is there one that stands out in your mind, though, that's like, yeah, that's the one that I can hang my hat on? There's like a signature victory in your mind?
I guess the Stephen Thompson's probably the biggest name that I beat when you look at the past, but and maybe even Douglas Lima, but which was before the UFC, but that might be the other biggest name. But probably the one that stands out the most to me was a Tim Means, just because I think he's probably one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC, most least talked about, even though one of the highest skilled guys.
Mm-hmm.
And just that camp, I'm just really proud of that camp, man. Like everything went perfect every day. I feel like I've never had a camp as good before or since. Just every single thing, I was completely healthy the whole time. All the pieces fell right into place, and it was such a great, at least for me, an exciting matchup. A guy like him, with his style matching up with my style, made for a great fight. And and fortunately, I came out the victor in that fight. But that was probably the biggest one. And other than that, the Robbie Lawler fight was probably, to me, like my best fight, though. I feel like I won that fight. I know the judges gave it to him, and a lot of people might debate that or whatever, but walking away from that, I felt like I won. And so to me, that was really like my biggest moment, even though they gave him a victory.
You got so many, man. I mean, you really have so many awesome moments. But to me, I really like that Eric Silva victory that you had. I mean,
Yeah.
man, you tore the house down in that fight, man. What do you?
Yeah, that was, yeah. In terms of most exciting fight and most exciting moment, that was certainly it. That was in not my hometown, but close to my hometown. I had more of my family was at that fight than my family reunion. Wow. And it was, my kids came in the octagon after, and my mom and my cousin, so, and obviously, it was a pretty good fight too, to top it all off, and got through some adversity. And I've watched that fight a couple times since, and the crowd was just insane. It was so loud. Dana said it was one of the loudest crowds he's ever heard. So yeah, that's certainly a good memory right there.
You mentioned it. I was going to mention it too. You're fighting Dhiego Lima, but of course his brother Douglas Lima fights in Bellator. He just recently lost his title, I think, last week. You do have a victory over Douglas Lima, 2017, right before he got to the UFC, right? It was International Sport Combat Federation.
I finished him in the second round.
I was just listening to an interview with Dhiego, your opponent, coming up, and he mentioned how he's never had a fight camp where him and his brother weren't training together. So I would think that gives you some kind of advantage, but does it, or is it just been so long that maybe it kind of nullifies it?
I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, I think once you get in there, the fight starts flowing, all those kind of things kind of just go out the window. Maybe it gave him a little bit of extra motivation during camp, or maybe it makes him a little bit more nervous knowing that. I have no idea how it's going to play out. And to be honest, I'm not really thinking about it, man. I don't really think a whole lot about what I've done in the past, even though we're sitting here talking about a lot of those things. My focus is on what I'm going to do, not on what I've done.
Getting away from fighting for a minute, man, if you were going to do, let's say it's like chest and arms day, right? And you're going to hit it hard. What's going to be on the radio? What's going to be giving you motivation?
Man, it changes all the time, but I don't know. I have a playlist specifically for lifting, and probably a lot of Lamb of God and Slipknot, and some of the Trivium, In Flames, just some of the basic metal stuff, I guess.
Nice. Are you looking forward to the concert season getting back kicked off again? Are you a big concert guy?
Oh God, yeah. That's very much missed. And I'm not a huge concert guy. I do like going. I like being at the show and seeing how a band performs. I'm not like I don't get in the mosh pit anymore, I guess. Yeah. When I say I'm not a concert guy, I kind of sit in the back by myself or with my friends and keep calm and just relax. And I kind of like actually look at what they're doing now and kind of criticize and judge the show and things like that, rather than getting up in there and not even knowing what they did on stage, just getting bloodied and beaten. And that's what I used to do. So
yeah, for sure. Did you watch UFC 263 at all this last week? Last weekend?
I only watched the prelims. I was pretty tired, so I went to bed.
Okay. Yeah, pretty good prelims actually, right? There were some really good fights on there. That Peterson Hooper fight was pretty good.
Yeah, well, okay. I jumped in right at the end of that fight. So.
Okay. Well, that was the best part, right?
Yeah.
Did you happen to see any of the Izzy highlights though?
I haven't actually. Usually I see everything on Instagram and Twitter and stuff the next day, but I haven't even hardly checked my social media, so I haven't really seen anything.
Very cool. Is there anybody in the fight game that you haven't met yet that you would like to meet, or that you could maybe be a little giddy about meeting?
Fedor.
Fedor?
Yeah.
There's something about a Fedor entrance I got to cover when he was in Chicago and he fought Frank Mir, and something about a Fedor entrance, man, just thinking about it, it's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you've never got to meet him in all your years of fighting, huh?
Yeah. Just, I don't know, it's the way it works. But in terms of MMA fighters, definitely Fedor. But, I do want to take a trip over to Thailand sometime and meet a lot of those guys, and maybe even Holland, meet some of the Muay Thai and kickboxing's best.
You're nowhere near the end of your career yet. You still got hopefully many more, my cat, hopefully many more fights left in you. But when you do hang him up from mixed martial arts, would you ever consider a sport like bare knuckle? It seems almost tailor made for a guy like you.
Yeah, you're not the first person to say that. I don't know. I wouldn't really be that interested. I'm not really that into boxing, I guess, but like I would love to do Muay Thai or Lethwei or something like that. You know, again, the problem would be, you know, switching sports, even bare knuckle, you know, just switching sports at 40 years old. I mean, that's, you know, especially a young man sport like boxing or Muay Thai, you know, grappling or something like that would be probably a lot more realistic. And, you know, I don't know if I could compete in grappling with some of the top guys, and I wouldn't want to do it if I couldn't compete with them. But maybe I'd do some tournaments and go see how my skills would stack up against those guys.
For sure. I'm sure it would stack up well, man. You're a true legend of the sport. Your name literally is all over the UFC's record book, man. And I'm sure you're going to add more to it on your fight on June 19th with Dhiego Lima. You'll have a brother. You'll have a win over both brothers, which I don't know too many guys who have done that. If of course,
I don't think anyone has.
I don't think so. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of anybody who has. You'd be the first dude to do that, probably the only and the last. So
Yeah, I don't even know if anybody has fought both of them.
yeah, I have no idea. I'd have to do some research, but off the top of my head, I can't think of who, because you know Douglas has been in Bellator for so long. Yeah, but man, I want to thank you for your time. Give you a few minutes here. Shout out, you know, anything your gym, anything you'd like to, brother. Floor is yours.
Yeah, you know, you can check out my gym, Immortal Martial Arts, on Instagram or Facebook. Immortal Martial Arts Center is the full name. My coffee company, The Immortal Coffee, best coffee you'll ever have, man. Anybody that's a coffee drinker out there, you definitely got to check it out. You'll be surprised. If not, then hell, I'll give your money back. How's that?
There you go. I love coffee. I'm gonna have to check it out myself.
All right, you got to, man.
I appreciate it, brother. Best of luck to you in your fight.
Absolutely. Thanks, sir.